What do you get most when people come across you or about movies that you're in, where they bring something up from your filmography? What do you get the most?
It's funny. It depends on where I am and what kind of people I'm talking to.
Okay.
Different people have different ones, but I mean the main ones are Sling Blade and Bad Santa.
I mean, we're talking about running the gamut here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sling Blade, Bad Santa, Armageddon. If it's like especially younger people, because that's like to a 20-year-old or something. They saw Armageddon when they were, 5 or whatever,
right?
Because it's the only thing that they would let anybody watch that I was ever in, and but I get Monsters Ball a lot from people, Get a lot of Halle Berry questions.
So it's not about your performance? Is that what you're saying?
They talk about that too, but ultimately they go, "Come here a minute, let me ask you something." And I'm like, "No, you're not asking me that." But yeah, and then the artsy crowd, they'll talk about The Man Who Wasn't There or Simple Plan.
Sure.
Sports. When I'm in Texas, it's the Alamo and Friday Night Lights.
So, what do you get most about Friday Night Lights? When people are asking you questions about that,
it's always a lot of people say it's their favorite football movie or sports movie.
It's real. It's so real.
Pretty real movie. And my dad, we've talked about it before, was a coach, high school coach.
Right.
But he was a basketball coach, so Hoosiers was always my thing.
That's it. I mean, for me, I have an 11-year-old boy, an 8-year-old boy, and a 6-year-old, and I showed him Hoosiers. Mm-hmm. And, it took a while for them to get into it. Eventually they did, but I keep telling them, I'm like, the rim to the floor and the free throw line to the baseline. I mean, that's just the same. Just remember that in life. Yeah. Does not matter how big the stage is. It's still the same game.
It's so good. And I was on tour with our band, the Boxmasters, recently. Mm-hmm. And we played Indianapolis. And I've known David Anspaugh for years, who directed Hoosiers.
And Rudy as well.
And Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
And David called me. He said, "Hey, I'm coming down to the show tonight. You got time to hang out on the bus, before?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Come on down." So David and I are talking, and I said, "How many of the guys still live around here, And he said, "Well, let's see, Maris and let's see who else." And there were a couple of the guys, and Maris actually played Jimmy Chitwood, the guy who made the last shot.
Right.
And so, one way or the other, a couple of guys came down, and David, and on stage, I did this thing, which it was so funny. Like the last guys to get it, they were sitting way in the back of this rock club, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear any hooting and hollering from them. And the rest of the audience, maybe they weren't clued into Hoosiers, but I did something I thought was really clever.
Which is?
I got a tape measure from our guitar tech, and I said, "Come here a minute." And I said, "Do me a favor, hold this over on that side of the stage."
Yeah.
And I took it over here and I handed it to our keyboard player, Ted. I said, "Now take that all the way to the end of your keyboard." They held it. And I said, how long is that? And they said, 25 feet, whatever it was. And I said, "I think you'll find that that's exactly the dimensions of our stage back home." And
you didn't get it?
And nobody got it.
What's up with that?
And later I asked David about it, and he said, he goes, "Oh, no, we got it. I didn't hear you yell or anything. I don't think you." So anyway.
It is so. Billy Bob Thornton here on the Rich Eisen Show. And I bring that up all the time in just today's contemporary sports world. For instance, when the Giants just sat Eli Manning for Daniel Jones, and everybody's going crazy, or they drafted Daniel Jones.
Right.
And I think of the scene where the crowd is going nuts because Coach Dale says, "Those my guys on the floor," and he's a man short because he's trying to teach everybody a lesson. And he holds up the game plan in his leather satchel to all the screaming fans, like, "I have a plan. Yes. I believe in this." I thought about it with your Colts guy, Andrew Luck, saying, "I'm stepping away." And people are like, "What are you thinking?" And he's like waving his satchel in the Hoosiers stayed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I mean, no doubt about it.
It's so perfect of a metaphor. What did you think about when Luck stepped away? Because you're a Colts fan through your love of Manning, correct? If I remember correctly?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I never begrudge anyone what they think they need to do with their life. Personally, I mean, if the guy thinks he needs to go, I think he has a reason for it. And I mean, obviously you're sad and you're scared,
right?
But the new kid's not doing bad.
Brissett just tore up Atlanta.
Oh, I know.
And I love the fact that the coach Frank Reich has always won with a backup. Yeah. Whether he was the backup for the Bills,
right?
His Super Bowl team, he was the offensive coordinator for was Nick Foles,
right?
Now here's the backup. He was the second choice technically as a coach.
Sure.
Kind of works on all that front.
Oh, absolutely.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.